Hi guys, it's me, Alex, your sassy dispatcher, that stubborn and pushy instructor from Dispatch Training Center. And I guess happy Black Friday. We're gonna talk about some specials for all our future trainings, but of course we are educational channel. I know you probably enjoying time with your kids and family, but you can always rewatch this and hopefully learn something new. Well, in trucking, we have a lot of rules and regulations. In trucking, we need to make sure that everything is up to date. And of course, 2023, I guess I forgot to silence my phone, is coming to the end. And we are preparing for 2024. 2023 is very rough year in trucking. It's not easy to be a dispatcher. It's not easy to be a driver. It doesn't matter if you're a company driver or if you're an owner operator. We are all in survival mode. That's why I want to share some extra knowledge with you. And we're going to be talking about UCR registration. What is a UCR registration? Why is it important? And why I want to share things with you so you can save money, right? I don't want you to pay me to register you for the UCR. I don't want you to pay the third party because, again, we are trying to keep our operational cost low. So I will be back in a second. Please make sure you like, you share, you ask questions. We're gonna go really fast, and of course, I will be answering anything with talking about dispatch, safety, compliance, whatever is there you want to get an answer. If I know, I will answer for you in this live. I'll be right back in 30 seconds. So, what is a UCR registration? Well, let's go and actually let's start learning what has to be done, what is this about, and if this is mandatory. So let's see. First of all, this is already open. UCR registration, and this is official website. Please make sure, guys, you do not go to the third party because a lot of people gonna still name it UCR registration 2024. They're gonna send you all the link as a third party. Please go to ucr.gov. You know what? I'm gonna copy right now and I'm gonna put right here in the comments below. So this is official website where you guys gonna go and you guys gonna figure out, is this something I need to do? First, doesn't matter how long you've been in trucking, or you are planning to come to trucking, or maybe you just a dispatcher. I would like you to know some mandatory regulations for trucking. So first, you need to understand what is UCR stands for, right? And this is a Unified Carrier Registration Plan. So first, is this same amount of money every year? We're gonna compare this and we're gonna see, did this year gonna go higher per truck or this is gonna go lower? Because it's always different. Look at this website. First, you have the, if you want to contact official registration, you can contact them here. You can see the UCR plan. So let's open and start with this. How much does it cost to register for the UCR in 2024, right? This is your 2024 prices. So first, we have a brackets. What does it mean that we have a brackets? That means that we have a different amount we are paying. It depends on how many trucks do we have. So let's see. If you have from 0 to 2 trucks, you know what? Let me try to make it a little bigger. So hopefully it looks better on your screen, right? Okay. Looks better? Yes, looks better. So if you are from 0 to 2 trucks, you only gonna pay $37. While if your company is from 3 to 5 size, you have to pay $111. If your company from 6 to 20, look at this, it's only $221. If you are mega carrier and you have from 21 to 100 trucks, you are only paying $769. And if you are super mega carrier from 100 trucks to 1,000, I don't know how many mega carriers we have. I actually do need to search that. Exactly, I would like to see companies with more than 500 trucks. How many do we have on the USA market? They are paying 3,670, and any company above 1,000 and more, well, they are paying this amount, 35,000, which sounds too high. Let me go back right here. Well, this is where trucking becomes unfair. How many of you actually are owner operators with your own truck? Let's say you work for some super transportation Inc. And let's say in their fleet, they have 20 trucks. They have 20 trucks. So they actually gonna be paying only $221. So let's calculate. $221, right? If you have 20 trucks, divide by 20, each owner should only pay $11. But is this really happening in trucking? No, it doesn't. The people scam their own drivers on UCRs. They scam their on IFTA filings. They scam their on registration. So please, after you watch this, why don't you do the screenshot or go to the UCR, take a picture of the plans and ask your owner, why do I have to pay more than $11? We are filing UCR as a company. And then you're gonna start here all this storytelling. Well, because we paying somebody else to process this. No, you don't have to pay anyone else. You guys gonna see today that it takes 30 seconds. You don't really spend more than 2-3 minutes to finish this. So no, you actually not paying anybody to process your UCR. Secondary, well, it's kind of not legal and unfair. So if I belong to mega carrier with 20 trucks, me as an owner operator, well, I should pay that $12. So let's see the difference. Let's say they even charge $37. So 37 multiplied by 20 trucks. Look at this, 740 minus 221. Wow, $519 on what? On not being honest. Well, $520 can pay for maybe half of that BMW payment, right? Or that Mercedes that they cannot afford nowadays because market sucks and they barely surviving. So that's why, believe it or not, most of you are not gonna pay $11. You're not even gonna pay $37. They probably will charge you like they usually do $60, $75, and they will be making money on that. Same with the IFTA filings every quarter, same with IRP accounts and everything else. So that's why on my channel, I am trying to teach you. Learn the basics, go to sources, and don't let people take advantage of you. But if you want to be naive, if you don't want to educate yourself, that you know what, applause to everybody who is still scamming you. But let's continue. So let's add this. Again, you can go and you can learn all of this. Let's have a little homework today or tomorrow or Monday when you're going to have time. Go to that UCR.gov, go to all of this and actually start learning. Look at this. If you can read and understand English, there should not be a problem of understanding what is a UCR, what is a UCR registration, what happening, and look at this. Here is your educational and training center, right? So let's go now and actually together, let's just watch one short video. Guys, I'm not gonna show you all the videos from the UCR website. You can do it on your own, but let's see who has to register, right? So let's watch together because the point of all of this is give you extra knowledge.
In general, any company that is required to register with the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, or FMCSA, and has a US DOT number, needs to register with UCR if it is involved in interstate or international commerce. A carrier registered under the International Registration Plan, or IRP, also needs to register under UCR because the IRP specifically applies to interstate commercial vehicles. If a vehicle is registered under IRP but not UCR, it is the carrier's responsibility to prove to their base state that the vehicle should not count under UCR. The most important factor in determining whether a vehicle needs to be registered under UCR is whether that vehicle is involved in interstate or international commerce.
Okay, so let's see what counts as
Interstate
interstate
commerce means
commerce.
trade, traffic, or transportation in the United States between a place in a state and a place outside of such state, including a place outside of the United States. Two places in a state through another state or a place outside of the United States, or two places in a state as part of trade, traffic, or transportation originating or terminating outside the state or the United States. Whether a vehicle is involved with interstate commerce depends on the movement of its cargo across state or national lines. If the goods or passengers being transported cross state or national lines at any point in their journey, it is considered interstate commerce, even if the vehicle itself doesn't actually leave the state. For example, transportation companies that take products to docks or airports are considered interstate, even if their vehicles never leave the state.
Well, who doesn't have to register? Let's see.
There are some exceptions. Trade, traffic, or transportation entirely within a state is intrastate commerce and therefore exempt from UCR registration. A vehicle is only considered intrastate if its freight moves entirely within the state and it is not involved in interstate or international transportation. Where the product is made is important in determining intrastate operations. Here are some other exemptions from the UCR program. Private passenger carriers do not need to register, as long as they do not charge directly or indirectly for their services. For example, a business providing a free shuttle for its employees. A business also does not need to register if it only operates vehicles outside the United States or only within the state of Hawaii. Mexican and Canadian carriers are required to register under UCR if they come into the U.S. Vehicles with government license plates. Intrastate school buses operated by or under contract with the school system. Sometimes a carrier does not have to count every vehicle in its fleet. This is important because a carrier's fleet size determines how much it pays for its UCR fee. The following types of vehicles don't count toward UCR fees. Emergency vehicles such as fire trucks and ambulances. Vehicles that weigh and have a manufacturer's weight rating of 10,000 pounds or less, including trailing equipment. Vehicles designed to transport fewer than 10 people. Trailing equipment that's only towed behind a power unit. Vehicles that only operate off-road.
Well, how is UCR enforced?
Highway Patrol conducting roadside and way station inspections can use the UCR enforcement portal at ucr.gov/enforcement to check by name or DOT number whether a carrier has a current registration. State employees can also use the admin portal of the National Registration System to check UCR registrations, send email reminders to unregistered carriers in their states, and conduct audits. Every year, participating states are required to audit carriers if they move to a lower payment bracket due to the size of their fleet, or UCR identifies an anomaly in the carrier's registration, requiring its base state to investigate further. UCR helps states identify these anomalies, and it is the state's responsibility to investigate. See the National Registration System video for more detail on conducting carrier audits. If your state uses the Commercial Vehicle Information Exchange Window, or CView system, which the FMCSA has approved for keeping track of commercial vehicle information, this can also be a useful tool for enforcing UCR.
Well,
The
what is the
registration
deadline to
system
register?
normally opens in October, and fees are due by the following January 1. If registration doesn't open before October 1, the UCR board recommends states delay enforcement to allow people enough time to register. Go to plan.ucr.gov for the latest enforcement recommendations.
And what's going to happen if you're not
Each
registered?
participating state determines its own penalties for noncompliance. Some states deny a vehicle its IRP registration until it has completed its UCR registration. State penalties for perjury also apply for the UCR registration form.
Well, so you can go on the website and you can actually watch all of this, documenting for the audit, where to begin, and everything else. So let's close this down. Let's remove this. And let's just go. I made a really fast PDF so we can actually we can see what's gonna happen, right? So let me actually close this. And let's open my PowerPoint, right? So one more time. Usually registration in opening in end of October. Every year it's a different amount per truck, independing how many trucks do we have. Let's think logically. For example, comparing to the last year, this year it's only $37. Why? If you are in trucking right now, if you are a dispatcher, if you actually learning about trucking industry, well, you understand that we have overcapacity of equipment. So every carriers have more trucks this year, 2023 and 2024, than it was in 2022. Logically, if we do have more trucks, well, the fee is gonna go down. Well, what's gonna happen in 2025, for example? Well, I don't have a crystal ball, but I can predict if most of the companies who cannot survive in this market gonna file bankruptcy, that means that we're gonna have less trucks to register with a UCR. In that case, fee can go up. But again, I am not a tarot reading. I don't have a crystal ball. So we're going to figure out next year what the fee going to be. And when we're going to figure out? By the end of October. If you were listening to the official video, she mentioned, well, if they cannot decide on amount of the money, then enforcement is not going to start by January 1st of upcoming year. But so far, they already know how much they charge. Registration is open, so you'd better register before January 1st because you don't want to get stopped on the road and pay fine. So let's see. You guys are gonna go to that ucr.gov and you're gonna come to this screen. So when you come to this screen, simply you will need to put USDOT number. So as many of you know, You have USDOT number, you have MC number, you have freight forwarded number, you have the broker MC number. Whatever kind of authority you have, you should know that information. So let's say you're gonna put your USDOT number. Well, system is gonna ask you to do it one more time. Unfortunately, you cannot copy and paste, so you have to manually put that number one more time. And you're gonna click submit. After you click submit, I actually did screenshot only of right side, and I did not screenshot the left side because of course I have the information of the real carrier. So you're gonna see, is this your company? Did you make a mistake? So if this is your company, you guys gonna see name of the company, you're gonna see the address of the company. If there's something you want to change, you can add it. If not, you can also see, well, have you had registration? Let's see. For example, this carrier had registration since 2020, 21, 22, 23, and now it tells him, please click here and register now. How hard is it to do for most of us? Well, simple click, right? When you click, it's gonna show you this screen and it's gonna ask you the name of the person who is actually doing this registration. And remember, guys, you're not using me as a third party, you're not using somebody else, because now officially you gaining knowledge. So if you are the owner of the company, well, you're gonna put your name. If you are wife of the who is managing paperwork, well, is company owned by your husband? Well, you're gonna put his first name and last name. And you guys gonna agree that information that you're gonna be giving is true, and nothing but the truth, right? So please do not lie. These fees are actually minor. There's no need to lie. You don't have to save those $50, $20 because remember, you can get audit for this, and actually this is can be federal crime and you have lots of penalties. So no reason to fake on the UCR registration. So after you put all this, you're gonna click continue and it's gonna take you to this screen. So look at this. Who needs a UCR registration? They are giving you 5 choices. Well, motor carriers have to have the UCR registration. Motor private carriers, right? People, passenger carriers, freight forwarders, they need to have registration. Brokers should have UCR registration, and leasing companies. So, are we all good on all of this? So, of course, we are representing motor carriers. Unless what? Unless you are a freight forwarder or unless you're a broker. Hopefully, we are giving knowledge to different sides of business. In this case, we are choosing motor carrier. Well, easy, easy. Almost kindergarten stuff. Okay. Then you come into this screen and it tells you you have option A, and let's read. It tells you it's going to be autofilled with the number of power units found on your most MCS 150. So what is the MCS 150? Well, we have a safer, right? We have the website where FMCSA keeps track on all the information about if a MC or DOT is active, how many trucks you have, what kind of commodities do you carry, what kind of authorities. So make sure that your MCS 150 is up to date, because a lot of people don't even understand that this is their responsibility to go and update it if something changes. Let's say you open company 2 years ago, and if you are only a company with one truck and you only have one driver and you just do the general freight, nothing change, well, you have to update MCS 150 biannually. And how are you gonna know? Well, you're gonna know by the last number of your USDOT number. So let's say if your USDOT number finishes with 3, you need to update by the 3rd month, which is March. If this is ending in 5, your USDOT number, not MC, 5, then in May, every 2 years. But usually things do change. Maybe you switched your cargo. Maybe now you went to step decks flatbeds. Maybe you added extra driver. So usually I recommend you to update your MCS 150 at least once a year, and I would recommend for you to do it in January so you can put the miles for previous year, how many miles actually you guys drove all together for one truck, two trucks, three trucks, and how you're gonna get those numbers, of course, from your IFTA filings, right? Because we do them quarterly. So you're gonna put those numbers together, and on in January, whatever, from January 1st to the 30th, or when you finish the fourth quarter of your IFTA for 2023, please go ahead and update. But usually that form is up to date. If it's not, you can use the option B and you can manually put the number of the trucks. Also, it can be a situation then, well, now you have one truck, but you know for fact that you have two owner operators coming on the board with you after, let's say, Christmas holidays, right? So if you know that they're going to be joining you in 2024, then you need to manually put number of the trucks. And you will need to choose either straight trucks or tractors, and then you're going to switch, let's say, to 3. Well, here's how it goes. You changing these numbers and you actually agreeing yes, no, yes, no. Simple. So let's go back. If you had 1 to 2 trucks, you paying $37, right? And we already seen the prices for 2024, right? So here's your brackets, and this is how much you guys going to pay. Now UCR is actually offering you automatic registration renewal. Remember, you have to be on the official ucr.gov, right? Please. And if you don't want to worry next year about paying all this, you can actually agree and sign me up. They're gonna ask you, they're gonna put you in a system, and you're gonna receive email. And if nothing changes, they are automatically gonna renew you for the next year. Me personally, I don't like my carriers to put their credit cards to any system. I don't care if it's a government, if it's an IRS. Usually people do silly things, so I don't like to share that to the systems, right? We do have crashes in the system, so here you go. I would say no, thank you, but no. In this case, it's gonna tell you, well, no problem, stubborn Alex. Well, you can go to the next screen and continue with your current registration. Well, you're gonna go and you can choose all this information, right? And look at this, you can use your principal address from MCS 150. Remember, if your credit card in business address is the same as the MCS 150, then use it. If not, of course, you can put the address of your owner and you can pay with Discover, MasterCard, with Visa, and unfortunately, no American Express. So I guess no points for you. In this case, you guys gonna pay $37 and 20 seconds later, you can actually download your registration. And this is going to be good for the whole 2024. Okay? So this is UCR registration. One more time, I really want you to guys go and educate yourself. Look and read through all of this. How to register, how's it enforced. We actually went through these videos, right? We have all these printable enforcement brochures. If you guys educating your safety managers, if you actually want to share this with your owner operators, this is lots and lots and lots of stuff here, right? Refunds, audits, users, passwords. So there is no way, and this is free, right? This is free. And you can even see participating states. So some of you can see that Oregon, Arizona, Nevada, right? Wyoming and Florida and East Coast states, right, are not included in UCR registration. So in this case, what do? You are interstate carrier who, for example, has business register in Florida. You still have to do UCR registration. In this case, you have to choose your neighboring states. Well, you can choose Georgia or Alabama. If you are in Oregon, well, you can choose Washington or California. The prices are still going to be the same. But this is one of the biggest mistakes people do because they think if my state is not participating in UCR, I don't have to have registration. Remember, you are living Florida, you are living Oregon, you go into states which participate in UCR. So logically, that's why you need to register. And you have to choose neighboring state, right? So, what else is gonna happen? So, let's see who is watching us. Well, we have somebody's watching. Thank you, Alex, just in time for the UCR renewal. Yes, that's why we're doing this. What else we will have to do in the end of the year? Let's just do the quick refresher for your mandatory safety regulations. Well, IFTA renewals, right? IFTA license, it's already open. You guys go to your IFTA account, renew my license. You need to order decals for your trucks, right? So you can display them. Please do not wait much longer because it takes time for some states to mail those decals. So I would do it maybe today, tomorrow, whatever you have time, right? Make sure that you have decal registration form so you know which decal are you giving to certain truck, right? Also, we have to renew all our trucking permits. Remember, we need to renew our New Mexico, it goes per truck. We need to renew our Oregon. And of course, Kentucky is still the same. You just have to worry about your inventory, right? And New York, we all gonna be ordering the new series of hot certificates, right? For the next 2 years. So please start ordering those now so you guys not behind, right? Right. Okay. What else we need to do in the end of the year? Of course, if the is gonna we're gonna be filing in the January for the last quarter. Oh, what else? UCR, we're going to be preparing for IRPs, remember? And we need to make sure that we keep all the paperwork because IRP, IFTA accounts, we need to keep paperwork for a long time. For IFTA, we have to keep it for 4.5 years, for IRP, 6.5 years. And this includes your trip reports, your miles, for example, fuel for IFTA per truck, and you actually have to keep it for all the time for all your truck. Even if the guy is already terminated, you still need to have records for that. Okay, so let's see here. What else? We have George is asking, hey, please provide me the next freight dispatching classes and details. Is it a full course? There might be left something that I have to take after completing your course. Well, our classes, and guys, you should take advantage of our Black Friday sale, right? So look at this. We're starting our last dispatch training for 2023 next Saturday. And now if you guys use Black Friday coupon, you're gonna save $150. Usually we've never gave $150, but this year have been challenging for a lot of people, so we gave you a little bit extra. And another biggest one, which when he was asking should I take something after that class, well, if you really want to succeed as a dispatcher, as a professional in trucking, you will need to know your IFTA safety and compliance stuff. So this is another one. We actually gave everybody $200 off on the top of already $250, which is included in that package. So my dear students, usually you getting $100. Here you guys getting extra 100 just because I understand that without knowing safety and compliance, lots of you going to be lost. There's a lot of things to connect when you book the load, when you do all of this. And of course, our webinar for people who want to open trucking company. It's going to be only $99 instead of $199, and we're going to have it on Monday, December 18th. Why are we doing it before holidays? Because a lot of you are debating, should I open company now the last minute, or should I actually wait till January, February? And I can tell you this, even with a UCR registration, let's say you want to open that MC right now, then you will need to have that UCR registration for 2023, extra money, right? I suggest for you to start company already in next year, just because we already almost to the end of the year. Get the knowledge, learn how to dispatch, come to the webinar, write the plan, understand how much is it gonna cost you, if you're ready for this or not. Learn all the extra things you can do by yourself, even opening that MC, even applying for the UCR, clearing house, doing all those trucking permits. This is so easy if you know where to get information, if you know the steps. And most students who came to my classes, they receive everything, not just me talking in front of them live for 4 or 5 hours, but they receive PDFs, they receive links, they receive the real examples, because I do believe that there cannot be too much information. You're gonna come back to that information sooner or later, and that's what we are doing. Let's see if you guys have any other questions, but probably not. It was not planned. Live, so hopefully you're just gonna rewatch. And I am actually doing this for my students. They of course gonna receive the link, and you guys can go and do it in your own time. Let's see, what if you are posting trucks today, or what's gonna happen on Monday? So if you live in a big mega city or mega uh, area for trucking. Let's say I'm in Chicagoland, right? We have a lot of people who came back to celebrate holidays, right? So let's see. Just to see a little overview for Chicago, 855-566-6377. So I am going to post Chicago. Okay, let me post Chicago. Oh, guys, I forgot to share the screen, so let me do this. So I'm gonna post Chicago, and I am going to switch for Monday, right? And I'm going to post. So let's see. So far, on the load board for the reefer, we only see 953 matches. Why is it? Well, because today is Friday. Most of the shippers, most of the receivers are actually not working. So this is for the reefer. Let's compare, let's copy and choose van. Let's see drive-in, and let's see the reality for Monday. Why I am telling you this, so you understand the market. Look, for drive-in in Chicago, even now on Friday, where most loads are not posted yet, we can see the big difference. We can see 2,000, almost 400. So 2,400 loads posted for Monday. Comparing to what? To that 953 loads for the reefers. So here's your logic. Is it easy to find a reefer load in Chicago on Monday? Or should you pre-book that already? Or what's gonna happen? Well, probably on Monday, the market is gonna go down because it's gonna be spot market. We're gonna have too many truckers in Chicago area. So maybe for some of you, it would be smart just to stay an extra day home and pre-book early load on Tuesday so you can get better money, or actually wake up early, or maybe go to the load boards even on Sunday, maybe Coyote load board, TQL, and pre-book something on the load boards, but not on the live board. Let's see what's gonna happen. Let's copy and let's put, let's say, flatbed. And flatbeds are actually gonna surprise you because look at this. Only 322 loads. Well, because this is not flatbed Conestoga step deck market anymore. Today is freezing outside, right? It's gonna be snowing soon in Chicago and everywhere where we have winter. What does it mean? That means construction actually slowing down. Nobody's repairing the roads because they cannot repair the roads with cold weather. So that's why how the market switches. So let's see if our trend lines are actually change a little bit, right? And we are looking for at least few cents difference. And here it is. Nothing changes. We still at 206 for what? We still at 206 for dry van, right? Let me make it bigger and move it here, guys. Okay, so dry vans are still at 206 for November. Flatbed 243, but again, this is not realistic unless you do a lot of partials. And reefers are at 249. Most of you guys got excited with the Amazon freight, right? Because before Black Friday, they were paying crazy money, and everybody thought that, oh my God, it's still gonna be there. And then suddenly, if you decide to stay on the road on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, where there is no loads, so most of you Amazon carriers, unfortunately, when you don't pay attention to the holidays, why there is no loads yesterday or today? Well, because most of the people already shopping and most of Amazon facilities already got the product. So you might see the spike when? You might see the spike next week because all of us today are clicking, buying whatever we need or maybe what we don't need. So you're gonna see that next week it's gonna increase a little bit. Dispatch.
Hey, good afternoon. This is Chad with Ease Logistics. I saw you had a posting up in Hopkins, Illinois, wanting to go to Arcadia, Florida on the 27th. Is that truck still available?
Where do you see that posting?
On DAT.
And it says that I want to go exactly to Florida. I have a truck available, but I don't want to go to Florida. Let's see.
Okay.
What do you have? How much are you paying?
$33.50 for Hopkins to Arcadia.
$33.50. What time is your pickup?
It's 1 a.m. in Hopkins on the 27th, and then delivering on the 29th in Arcadia on 2:15 a.m. as well.
So it's picking up 1 a.m. during the night? On the Sunday night, Monday night, Monday morning?
Monday morning, yeah.
Okay. Who is the shipper?
Looks like this is going to be William Bolthouse Farms.
And what is a commodity? What is a commodity? What is a product?
Juice, palletized juice.
Why do they have such a weird appointment so early in the morning around holidays?
I would guess it's just the holidays when they have the time off, and the booking out of loads is just gets super packed, and they're just trying to get caught up on schedule.
Okay.
Get everything out.
And who are we delivering in Arcadia, Florida?
It's going to go to Walmart.
Walmart. And when do you have delivery appointment?
It's going to be the 29th at 2:15, and that's also in the morning.
2:15 which day?
On the 29th, so 2 days from then.
Okay, so on Wednesday. And how heavy is this?
It's going to be 38,685 pounds.
Okay.
And the temperature is going to be 33 degrees continuous.
Okay. And what is your MC?
RMC?
Yes.
RMC.
Which company are you working with?
Ease Logistics. So MC 858-765.
Okay. Well, 3,300 does not sound like enough. It's 1,300 miles. Do you think you can meet me at 42?
Unfortunately, with this one, I don't have 42 to the load. I can try to get approval. With that one, it will take a little bit of time. Just because I do only have this one posted up for 33.50, and I only have the approval for just a smidgen more right now. So I will have to go to my executives, and they may take a while to get back to me on that one, just because this one is picking up on Monday.
Well, it's
So I
picking.
can go
Yeah,
ahead
I
and
mean
log that
it's
off for
pick.
us to get
Yeah,
back to you.
yeah, it's picking up at 1 a.m. So not too many people are willing to start driving in the middle of the night. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I
can you?
understand, but it's just a weird predicament. But I'll go ahead and log that offer, and I appreciate you opening the phone call for me. That was
Yeah,
very considerate,
yeah,
and I will definitely get back to you if I get that approved. Okay.
yeah. Thank you. Have a happy holidays.
You do the same.
Thank you.
Bye
Bye bye. So look at this. We were just playing with a load board. So this guy needs to cover his truck. What is this? Today is Friday. I am in Chicago. So it's 3:46 p.m., right? It's an early pickup. So it's for the driver who is willing to go on the road tomorrow night. Well, it's going where? It's going to Florida, right? So this is for reefer, right? He's paying $3,300. Well, $3,300 is not enough. Well, we have strict pickup, we have strict delivery, Walmart Arcadia. Arcadia, Florida is dead. Well, if he can meet me at 42, well, I can consider. What is good about that? Well, if you're a driver actually done with the holidays and he want to get out, get loaded early, so he can check in probably late Saturday night, get loaded, go on his way, and probably by Wednesday morning have his $4,200 for this trip. What I like, it's not minus 10 because this is juice, and he said the temperature was at 34. You always have to verify continuous, not continuous. Again, I was not looking to factoring for any of carriers because, again, this was just a fake posting for the purpose of this live, right, guys? We did not even think that somebody's going to call us. But what step would you do as a dispatcher? Of course, you would log in to factor in first, verify if this MC is approved or not, right? So this is how it goes. Even on a Friday after Thanksgiving, when everybody's shopping, we are still working. So if you post your equipment, if you do not just search, will you receive those phone calls? Yes, yes, and yes. And that's why, guys, when you sign up for my classes, when you actually serious about what? About being a dispatcher, you need to put all this circle together. You need to know your equipment. You need to know holiday season. You need to know seasonal changes. You need to know the markets. You need to see what is the difference between spot market, what is a dedicated runs, what is a drop and hook, and lots of different things. Is it hard? Well, it's not hard because when you guys learning and when you building strong foundation, the rest is only improving your negotiation skills, right? Carrying the conversation, being confident, and knowing what are you looking for, right? Rate per mile, what's gonna happen in Florida, and everything else. Well, if we don't have any other questions, I guess we're gonna be done for today because still this is a holiday week, right? So all of you are enjoying time away, and hopefully you did pre-book your loads, and hopefully your drivers did not get stuck with false promises from the brokers. The biggest problem working around holidays, that those appointments or do not exist, or brokers lie, or facility actually do not have enough workers. Why? Because a lot of employees are called off. They say, well, I cannot come in today. For example, you work in a lumber service, and then it takes longer to load and unload. So remember on Monday, why did he tell me that this is 1 a.m. appointment? Because look, they probably closed yesterday for Thanksgiving. They probably not working today. They still need to catch up on the shipments to Walmart because Walmart is sold out probably from the Jews in Florida. So that's why he's saying this is appointment is kind of weird. But if this is something which is not flexible, that's when you have your power of negotiation. That's when you need to validate. That's why we need extra money. That's why we need to make sure that you put offer which helps us out because we know what we do, right? So we see that Irina came. Sorry, I came in late. Look forward for watching the replay. Yes, don't stress out. You can rewatch it, and hopefully your family is enjoying the holidays. And since your son is visiting, hopefully he loved the turkey yesterday and everything else that mommy was cooking for him, right? Irene actually right now in our class, and she came from different field. She's coming from the medical field, and she's eager to learn. She's very responsible. She does homework, she does quizzes, and probably she's kind of stressing out for the next week because I guess what? Next week we're going to have the real practice, right? So we guys gonna post some videos from our real phone calls and also reviews, and we're gonna share what our students have to tell you about our training, if they like it or not. But in the end of the day, doesn't matter where you're learning it from, where information is coming from. Make sure that this is comes from the official sources. That's why I'm so big on you going exactly to ucr.gov, going exactly to your IFTA in your states, going exactly to FMCSA, going to USDOT department, for example, transportation in Illinois, understanding that we have so many free resources, we have educational stuff, and you have to be pretty ignorant yourself if you do not want to improve your knowledge. Well, I'll see my students on next week, and tomorrow we might have another live. I don't know yet the time, but probably in the mid of the day, and we're gonna talk a little bit about the markets and winter conditions. I just want to make sure that we talk about some routes you need to avoid, and maybe some challenges part of the USA, right, where you never want to go, because sometimes that load sounds so good, but that $300 actually not a good decision. So guys, see you soon. Make sure that you sign up. Friday, Black Friday specials are still gonna be good till Monday. If you really look into safety and compliance, make sure you take that offer on extra $100. So this one, an extra $200 on the top of 250, right? And I'll see you soon. Hopefully, we're gonna have some likes, comments, because it does help us to stand out with other channels and actually bring more people to awareness about trucking industry. I'll see you soon. Love you guys.